The sky is blue, my tractor's bluer. If you don't like Landinis, you're a right fucking hooer.
People in the UK have been freaking out on Twitter, as security tags are being added to everyday items like milk, meat, cheese. People are assuming it's due to the cost of living crisis that's been going on. A spokesperson for one of the supermarkets claims there's nothing to do with that and is just a precaution to prevent shoplifting, and that they've always been there. So I'm pitching it here. You know those ink tags that they attach to clothes that would destroy the clothes if they got removed? Well, we start putting onto food, but instead of ink, we put in potent psychedelic substances. Be pretty obvious then to figure out who's been shoplifting. Excuse me, ma'am. Do you know anything about this stolen brie?
Dirt bikes. Move, nigga. Gunshots. Movie narrator. You've seen it in the films. One man will make the ultimate sacrifice, starring DMX, Jay-Z, Nas, Beyonce, your mother. You know what I'm saying?
In people not being able to read the room news,
Carter, read the room.
Prince Andrew and his aides actually think his infamous BBC interview went well. Sam McAllister wrote in a new book, Scoops, and look at all these people I've interviewed. Says that Andrew's aides said he did wonderfully after his interview. Andrew even offered to give her a tour of the grounds afterwards because he was so pleased. Probably would have took her into the toy room where she could keep one item if she promised not to tell anyone. Just a habit for him, really.
Tendency to be too honourable, but
it's not surprising that he's that out of touch. He's lived his whole life thinking that the royal family actually do something or serve a purpose.
Just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
Not as heinous, sure, but him thinking that this interview went well is like her thinking this would lift everyone's spirits.
Imagine there's no heaven.
Sorry your grandparents died alone in a hospital, but imagine if there was no heaven. Now, isn't that better?
Excuse me, do you mind turning your fucking brake lights off? I'm trying to fucking sleep. Fucking a dick.
Proof that means make money, unless you're Morbius, of course. The latest meme trend, gentle minions, where a group of distinguished-looking gentlemen, dressed in their Sunday's best, go see the new Minions movie, The Rise of Gru. Clearly paid off. The movie made $202 million worldwide in its opening weekend. But they had to give back around $1,300 of that money. Yeah, it seems these distinguished gentlemen are only gentlemen in appearance and not behaviour. As a part of the meme, many of them cheered during the movie, shouted, screamed, lost their minds whenever the Minions did anything. I'm not really a fan of this franchise, so I don't understand the enthusiasm. Causing a lot of actual families with young kids that actually wanted to see the movie for their own entertainment purposes to walk out. One parent described it as absolute idiots. Ruined the movie for my two kids. They were upset all by the noise. Seems the youth of today are an inconsiderate bunch. I would have to agree. I'm not really a fan of jokes that makes people unwilling participants in them. And also people talking and making noise in the movie theater is my biggest pet peeve. I absolutely hate people that do it. I'd throw them all into a giant hole if I could. It got to the point where a lot of cinema chains had to put up signs that anyone dressed in formal wear trying to go see the new Minions movie would be refused entry. Noticeably, mainly people participating in this are people from the demographic of Gen Z. You know, the woke, take care of everyone generation. Hard to ignore the hypocrisy here, isn't it? Acting like you love everyone, but as soon as a big trend comes around, you would jump on it, ruining everyone else's experience that actually came to enjoy it. So I find it hard to take the generation seriously. They act like they stand for so much, but in practicality, when push comes to shove, stand for very little, and mainly just want to be a part of a crowd.
Yo, bro.
Yeah.
You got a napkin?
Yeah.
Some thought it would never happen, but old Boris has finally thrown in the towel, decided to call it a day at Downing Street, announcing his resignation as Prime Minister. And yes, the party's already being planned.
Boris loves a party! Boris loves a party! La, 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 la.
Boris, though, is going out with a bang, breaking the record for most ministers' resignations of all time, at 45, with his predecessor Theresa May following in second. So what sprung Bojo to leave? Well, it's come out he promoted a minister that he was aware has participated in sexual misconduct. Even after this minister, ironically named Chris Pincher, grabbed the rumps of 2 men at a dinner party. Previous to that, there's been 6 incidences. Boris originally claimed to know nothing about it, and then later had to backtrack, claiming that he thought that all the issues had been resolved. Yep, this sprung the end for Bojo. He survived a vote of no confidence back in June, and so he can't stand another one until 12 months has passed. But there were discussions among the government to get that law changed to boot Boris as quickly as possible. Probably why he's leaving now. He doesn't want to face the embarrassment of them having to change the rules just for you, and you'll forever be known as that guy that had to get a rule made after him.
Because of me, now they have a warning.
Interestingly, from watching Boris speak, he keeps mentioning Ukraine when people press him on issues. Not saying that Ukraine isn't important. It is. It's a very important situation going on at the moment. But it seems very like he's just trying to change the subject.
Frustrated in our desire to support the Ukrainian people or over some major point, then I would. But
that's a question.
Yeah, and what's the answer?
Leading the West in standing up to Putin's aggression in Ukraine.
Look over there!
Where?
But as Boris would say,
my friends, in politics, no one is remotely indispensable.
And even though you like a job, even though you're bad at it, and that everyone's happy to see you go, you can't stay in a position forever.
But them's the breaks.